Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Freya, and we're going to continue on with this crazy game called Slow Damage. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right on in. Let's see. I head back to my apartment where I called him on my cell. But it just rang and rang. So instead I got dressed and headed out. I don't think apologizing to our lovely stalker is a good idea, but it's what Ray wanted, so okay. Under the clear blue sky, I amble down the sidewalk in the direction of the flower shop. I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't. Eventually I found it, the wooden building with the big glass panels. I peered in through the window, no sign of Ikuina. As I pulled the door open and stepped inside, a female clerk ran over to me.
いらっしゃいませ。何かお探しですか?
Did he not even really work here? I'm a little concerned now.
イクイナさんは?
Mm-hmm.
イクイナくんはお休みです。しばらく休むと連絡がありました。
You hurt his feelings, Toa. Or we
そう
did.
ですか。どう?
Or we are Toa, I guess. Alright. And with that, I walked out. Probably for the best. I don't actually trust Ikuina. If he was skipping work, then he was probably cooped up in his house working on his art. I pulled out my phone from my coat pocket and sent him a text asking to talk. See, it's going so bad. Okay. No, all I could do was wait. Dang it, Ray, why'd you have to make us feel bad? And so I headed downtown to wander around and drink some booze. Oh, God. Oh, like this music. During the day, downtown area looked dull and drab. Anyway, the sunlight illuminated all the dirt and stains normally concealed under the darkness of night. As I walked down the washed out street, I spotted something wriggling in the corner of my eye. There were two figures wrestling in a dark alley. Were they that unbearably horny right here in the middle of the day? I don't think that's what's going on, Toa. I was just going to pass by, but then I heard a groan and stopped short. Is this vampire? It was a male voice, and it sounded like he was in pain, not gross pleasure. Curious, I turned in the direction of the alley. Oh. One man was lying on the ground while the other man was straddling him. The man on top had both hands raised over his head, holding something that glinted in the sunlight. A knife, maybe? Oh, did we find Ikuina? Oh. But, I wasn't scared. I walked over to them. The man with the knife leapt to his feet. Oh. Then he took off down the alley like a bat out of hell. I could smell something in the air. His residual scent, perhaps? Yeah, it's totally Ikuina. As his footsteps retreated into the distance, the man on the ground let out a whimper. Oh, on closer inspection, I see a medicine vial on the ground beside him, along with a strangely shaped knife. The blade was curved outwards. So that looks like a pruning knife? You know, like for plants. Its blade was curved outwards. Yeah, because you hook it. Anyway, I crouched down and examined the victim. He was still moaning and twitching, dosed with something probably. The man who fled must have drugged him in order to try and stab him. Injured while lying on the street unconscious. Yep, it's that goddess of mercy or whatever. The same thing nearly happened to this guy. I picked up the vial and the knife. The knife was a foldable one, so I tucked the blade away, then put it and the vial in my pocket. I swear I know how to read, I promise. Over time, the victim would sober up and go back to his regular life. His attacker wasn't really trying to kill him. I knew this. Because I recognized the smell in the air. And I knew what it was. I turned back and headed out onto the main street. Was it, absinthe? It has a weird scent to it. Oh no, are we going to the oh god. Oh, this is a bad idea. Eventually I arrived at the high-rise condo building I had woken up in once before. This is a bad idea written all over it, Toe. We shouldn't be here. The room number was 1403. Oh, such a bad idea. Such a bad idea. Passed through the lobby, then rode an elevator up to the 14th floor. Oh, you're gonna get us killed. Then I walked down the hall until I reached the door with 1403 on the number plate. Being your subconscious sucks, man. I leaned in close to listen for any movement. No dice. That didn't necessarily guarantee that no one was home. I wrapped the knob and slowly twisted it. Toa. No. Oh, thank goodness it's locked. Naturally, it was locked. Thank goodness. I don't want to go. I crouched down on the spot and pulled... No. He's gonna get us killed, guys. I crouched down on the spot and pulled my lockpick wire out of my coat pocket. Oh my gosh. Why do you have... Never mind. Why do I even ask? Of course he has this. I lightly bent the tip and then inserted it into the keyhole. I learned how to pick locks when I was in the Takasato Gumi. They taught us They taught it to us so we'd be able to break into debtors' houses if they refused to answer the door. But in most cases, people would just bust the doors anyway, so it wasn't especially useful. Yeah, it's easier to just kick the door down than sit there and lockpick it. Following my instincts, I worked the lockpick and then I felt it give. I pulled the wire out. I had a friend who had a whole lockpicking kit. I had the weirdest friends now that I think about it. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I can, like when you lock your keys in somewhere, what they have to get in somewhere, he's like, oh, let me get my tools. He was a bounty hunter, so he had all sorts of weird crap. Then I stood up and tested the knob again. The dude was like 6'4", so it worked for him. The door opened. I walked in and swiftly pulled it shut behind me. Oh, all the plants are dying now. That's not good. Like last time, the hall was overflowing with plants. I stepped into the house without taking my shoes off. Well, you shouldn't. Don't want to tip this guy off. I followed the hall to the room at the end and opened the door. Yeah, see, all of his plants are just dying now. There I found the living room I remembered from the last time. Like before, the walls were lined with potted plants. And there was a bed I had once woken in. It looks like it's covered in rose petals. Not to mention this distinct, unique smell that filled the room. It's all exactly as I remembered, except for the giant mess on the table. With one significant difference, the plants had all died, including the ones in the hall. The floor was littered with petals, pruning shears, a knife, and other gardening supplies, almost like they were abandoned in the middle of a project. I pulled out the knife I've retrieved from the alley and flicked it open. Yep. Then I compared it to the knife on the floor, a perfect match. Yeah, it's meant for gardening. Except the knife on the floor had a dark red stains on its blade. What were the chances I'd find another one of these strangely shaped knives entirely by coincidence? I refolded the knife in my hand and put it back in my pocket. On the floor by the first aid kit, I could see dark droplets of liquid. They were dried, sticky, and faintly red. Blood, probably. Yeah, blood dries like a brown color. I looked over at the bed, noticed something long, thin, and white mixed in with the messy sheets. Do I want to know? As I approached, I realized it was an unraveled bandage. It reminded me of the time I woke up here. Then I looked over at the table. There was some sort of lump sitting there. At first I thought it was a chunk of rotted meat, but it wasn't. It was something I recognized, though it was crushed and discolored. It was a rose, right? I walked over to the table and examined the lump. It looked a lot like the wound photo posted on Ruth's blog. Freya had created it by making a flower look like a gash. Which would mean this condo could only belong to one person. And the lingering scent of the man who fled matched this room perfectly. Yeah, it's... Of course Toa's into it. Oh my gosh, Toa. Slowly my lips curled into a smile. Now he wants to draw him. Of course you do, Toa. because we are slightly out of it. Oh, Toa. After the sunset, I headed straight to Roost. Oh my gosh. I know it was him because he started sending us flowers the same day that we got picked up off the street. When I walked in, Ray spotted me and I walked over.
とはどうだった？生稲さんと連絡取れた？
No, but I found out that he was the guy kidnapping people and cutting them open.
店に行ったらしばらく休むって連絡があったらしい。電話もしたけど出ない。
Yeah, babe.
メッセージは送った。
I don't think we should apologize to him. Or maybe we should so he doesn't hurt us. He frowned at me, concerned. Oh, it's
そ
okay,
う
babe.
生稲さんとわの一言がそんなにショックだったのかしら。
Ray, you're too sweet to live in this world. Until, I probably see him fighting, then he'll probably fit right in. I shrugged wordlessly, and I walked over to the counter and sat down in my favorite spot in the far corner. That's where I'd sit too. He followed after me and let out a sigh.
まあ、あとはもう待つしかないわね。
No.
あまりしつこくするのも良くないでしょうし。
Just then I heard a door open and someone walked in.
いらっしゃいま。嘘。
Ikuina? Ray looked over at the door and immediately clapped a hand to his mouth. Yep, there he is. Naturally, I turned and looked, standing there with an awkward smile on his face with Ikuina.
こんばんは。生稲さん、ちょっと大丈夫？
Yeah, he did that to himself, remember? Ray hurried over to him. He blinked in mild puzzlement. Ray, no, sweetie, stay away from him.
何がですか？あ、ほら、とわが失礼なこと言っちゃったんでしょ？それで気を悪くしたんじゃないかと思って。
Ray, why wouldn't you care?
ああ。
You shouldn't care, Ray. He pursed his lips and shook his head slightly.
大丈夫です。
Hmm.
本当に？
Ray.
はい。でも、なんだかすごく疲れてるっていうか、
Is his wound
顔色が
infected?
悪いみたいだけど。
あ、これはちょっと寝不足で、本当に大丈夫です。
Hmm. Sorry, guys. I don't know why my game flickers. I've tried everything. I can't figure it out.
そう。だったらよかった。それじゃ、こちらへどうぞ。
Ray led Ikuina to the counter. He's gonna put him next to me. Don't put him next to me. I could sense him looking at me, but I made a point of ignoring him. He sat down beside me, smiling faintly.
とわさん、メッセージ見ました。
Oh, is that why you're
あり
here?
がとうございます。
ああ、
I'm on tune with Toa right now. I glanced at him out of the corner of my eye. Ray was right. The guy looked kind of gaunt. His eyes were sharper than before.
ご注文は？
The dude's been out attacking people left and right. It's kind of nuts.
アブさんを。
とわは？
お任せで。
I don't care. Exactly. Just whatever.
はーい。店長！
Manager nodded and started making our drinks. I lit a cigarette, took a drag, and exhaled softly. Meanwhile, Ikuina stared down at the counter. Like an awkward date. I could feel faintly the smell, that peculiar meadowy scent. Yeah. I looked over at the manager and found him pouring the absinthe.
でも、生稲さんが顔を見せてくれて、本当によかったわ。とわも反省して、すっごく心配してたのよ。
Ray, don't be putting words in my mouth. I didn't feel nothing.
そうなんですか。
No, he's lying. Ray felt bad. I didn't. Ikuina looked at Ray in surprise and shifted his gaze to me.
おい、
Yeah, exactly. Dude, seriously? Don't wink at me. I glared at Ray, who stuck his tongue out at me. I mean, I still love him. Oh my gosh.
どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
Ikuina took his glass.
生稲さん、とわに不満とか言いたいこと
No, Ray,
全部ぶつけちゃっていいわよ。どうぞ、ごゆっくり。
Ray, stop. I mean, you're absolutely adorable, but please stop. With a joke and a wink, Ray grabbed his dishcloth and tray and walked off. You're setting me up for disaster, Ray. Please stop. I sipped my drink in silence. What did I get? What type of cocktail? It's not a Bloody Mary. I don't know what that is.
ウイスキーベースのオリジナルカクテルだよ。どう？
Oh, okay. I was like, I've never seen something like that before. Manager called out to me to get my feedback. I don't know. You didn't put a rim on it or anything. I don't know.
うまい。
Okay.
よかった。
I could tell the drink was tailored to my preferences. As for Ikuina, he took tiny sips of his absinthe. I think that's how you're supposed to drink it. It burns. We sat, well, alcohol does. We sat there in silence, like perfect strangers. The air between us was tense. See, awkward date. What did I tell you? Then I sensed his gaze and glanced over at him. Our eyes met. He was looking at me with determination. Oh, God, please don't.
父さん、
No. His tone was one of steadfast conviction.
俺をモデルにしてもらうことはやっぱりできませんか？
All right, come over. I thought I finished it. Did he top me off again? I looked away without saying anything.
父さんに見てもらいたいものがあるんです。
No, I've already been to your place without you there. He grabbed the rucksack at his feet, pulled out a folder the size of a memo pad, and set it on the counter. Oh, God, please no. Cigarette between my lips, I picked up the folder and opened it to find a stack of photographs the size of postcards. Oh, God, please no. There were about 30 of them, and they all featured flowers made to look like wounds. As I flipped through, his art style began to evolve dramatically. They made the one posted to Ruth's blog look tame by comparison. These new ones featured tacky, oversaturated colors and scattered petals. At this point, you couldn't really tell he was trying to imitate flesh wounds. I couldn't tell that with the first one. I thought it was a weird rabbit. Subjective opinions of his style evolution aside, his new work was brimming with unnaturally raw passion.
どうですか？
I think you have desperation going on, dude. Ikuina spoke hesitantly as he attempted to gauge my reaction.
悪くない。
Just freaking Toa, I would just be like, fine, I'll draw you. Let's meet at the park or something, because I am not going to be alone with you. Ray will come with us. Oh, this could be so bad. It was my honest opinion. After all, it was hard to find an artist who could imbue their work with this much heat. It was reminiscent of an artist in his declining years. That's too bad. At my response, a relieved smile crept up on Ikuina's face.
ありがとうございます。でも俺ちょっと花から離れようと思ってて。
No? Why?
やめるのか？
はい。ちょっといろいろ抑えきれなくて。店に立つのも難しくなってしまって。
You said move away from flowers. He didn't say stop. I think he's gonna go a different medium. Oh, geez, he has multiple wounds. Oh, no. Please stop. Rolled up his sleeves. Both arms were covered in bandages from his wrist to his elbow. Red stains seeped through here and there. Oh, I kind of feel bad for him. But he's attacking
気
people, so
が
I
つい
don't
た
know.
ら花じゃなくて腕を。花じゃ物足りなくなってしまって。
Ikuina, you
どう
need
して
to
も
go
我慢できなくて。
see a therapist.
物足りなくなった。
本当に作りたいものは花の作品じゃないんです。でもそれを実行するのはとても難しくて。いや、多分やってはいけないことで、それは分かってるんだけど。
Yeah, he want. He mumbled to himself under his breath. Yeah, he's going full like I want to use people. Put my cigarette out in the ashtray. It was time. Ikuina's catalyst had gone exactly to plan. Wait, I was manipulating him? What? Oh, Toa, you
気
are
が変わ
evil.
った。
You evil manipulative man. I love you. Oh my gosh. Oh. Guys, we are in the body or in the mind as a subconscious to a manipulative crazy
あ
person.
んたを書く気
I
に
love
なっ
it.
た。
Oh, he wanted him to get to this desperation point. Whoa, okay. exhaling cigarette smoke, I smiled at him faintly. Oh, Toa, maybe you're the villain of the story. We are the villain, guys! Hooray. He looked at me in shock. His lips quivered.
本当に
Maybe we should protect Ray from ourselves. Oh, I'm scared for Ray now.
ああ
Oh. Out of nowhere, Ikuina grabbed his glass and downed his absinthe in a single swallow. How? Goodbye, throat.
ちょっと大丈夫？
Yeah, exactly, Ray. Goodbye. He just seared your throat. Ray came rushing over like he was supervising us from a distance. He probably was.
大丈夫です。すみません。
Game, why do you blink like this? Wiping his mouth with the back of his hand, he bowed to Ray. Then he looked at me with feverish eyes.
嬉しいです。本当にありがとうございます。どうして気が変わったんですか？
I mean, gotta say, we are a cutie over there. Look at Toa. He's a cutie. I fixed him with a meaningful look. I like desperation,
もし
apparently.
俺が酔いつぶれたらお前が介抱してくれるんだろ
Oh, I know what you did. Instantly, the color drained from his face. His expression was stiff with a blend of hope and despair.
その前に酔いつぶれないように気をつけなきゃって。生稲さん？
Oh, Ray didn't catch on. Sweet baby Ray. Oh, he did, though. Ikuina jumped to his feet, whipped some money out of his wallet, and slapped it down on the counter. Then he grabbed his rucksack and headed for the door. Hey, where do you think you're going? Come back here. I wasn't done
や
with you.
だ。どうしたのかしら。まだ具合が悪かったとか？
Ray murmured in concern as he watched Ikuina disappear outside. No, I just, I let out a dry laugh and raised my glass to my lips. Oh, we are evil. We are mean. Oh, Toa, I love you. I left Roost and ambled down the bustling, oh god, Koo Street. Koo? I'm so bad at this. But I still had some time left. Maybe I should go see him before I go home. Directed exploration. Told him to go say hi. Let's go harass this guy a little more. We're already here. To Roost we go, I guess. Time to go see Ray. Yeah, sure. Let's go say hi to Ray. Okay. I'm back. Hi, babe. I don't really know why I came back, but hey, what's up? Oh, okay. That's our excuse? All right. Sure. Seriously, good grief. Such a hot mess. Just one more, you hear me? Will it be? Anything. Just give me water and say it's vodka. Got it. All right. I'm here to see you, babe. Just adjusting my light. It's not bright enough. It's like I'm sitting in the dark. Alright. Thank you, Ray. Ikuina sure ran off in a hurry, didn't he? I sure hope he's okay. Ray, stop worrying about other guys. You just worry about Toa. Because that's my whole goal. You care too much. Exactly. No, you don't care enough. I'm convinced you must have crushed him when you rejected those flowers. Why would you care, Ray? Did you not see the... Never mind. Are you even listening? Yeah. What's got you zoning out? I mean, no offense, but you're acting kind of weird. I don't know. Kind of just enjoy staring at you, maybe?
どうかした？
You're like crazily chipper. Did something good happen? You're so
知
cute.
らないな
Probably the alcohol. Liar. I haven't drank enough to get that kind of buzz. But whatever, it doesn't matter. No, don't black out. I want to see. Where am I? It's my room. Hi, little bun bun. Little bun bun over there. That night, I was lying on the sofa wasting time like always. Listening to TV's drone, navigated through Ruth's blog on my phone. I actually do that too. I fall asleep with like something droning on. As I scrolled through the new articles, a name caught my eye. Frage. That's a... I know what that is. I can tell that's a strawberry. Posted artwork was unlike anything that had come before. Instead of modifying a flower to look like a wound, it had placed a single strawberry on top of a white fabric. Nothing more. For a moment, I questioned whether this was really Frage piece. Then I recognized what I had in common with the rest. It had the same... It was a half-inch incision on the surface of the berry, spread apart to reveal a sliver of the flesh inside. Yep. In my view, this was more direct message than any of the others had been. Why had he chosen to use fruit instead of flowers? Strawberry flowers. The little white ones. Did strawberries have a meaning in flower language too? No, it's just something that I don't know. On the whim, I looked it up. Strawberry flower symbolism. Sure enough, there it was. Esteem and love. Fruitfulness and fertility. Sharp eyes, you make me happy. Frage knew I visited this blog. So maybe this was a message directed at me. That was the whole, like, flower baskets too, man. He's obsessed with you. A message from Ikuina, the artist Frage, and the flower sender. Just past 3 a.m. Please don't go to his house. I'm begging you, Toa. Please don't. I grabbed a bottle of booze off the floor and brought it to my lips and took a swig. I loudly chugged the lukewarm fluid, then lowered the bottle. I need to get as drunk as possible. Why? What are you planning, Toa? Please don't. Please no. I'd already pre-gamed at Roost earlier, so by the time I pulled my coat on and left the room, I was unsteady on my feet. Please don't. I had no guarantee that it would happen tonight, nor any proof. Something in my gut told me it would. And that was why, back at Roost...
もし俺が酔いつぶれたら、お前が介抱してくれるんだよ。
Oh my gosh, Toa, you're... Please stop. I intentionally made that comment. As far as I could tell, Ikuina was reaching his limit. If flowers could no longer sate his hunger, then he would surely prowl the streets, looking for prey passed out in the gutter. I don't get our end plan. I don't get our end game. I just think this is a bad idea. Pressing a hand against the wall for support, I passed through the waiting room and out the building. I was pretty sure I knew how to lure Frage out of hiding. I smirked to myself like a hunter setting a snare. But you're drunk. I should revisit the place where I passed out. That was by Roost, if I remember correctly. Right? I don't... It was this one, right? The alley? Alright, I'm gonna save, because I honestly... I don't... Alright, I don't remember. I think it's the... Move. This isn't the right place. Yeah, we didn't pass out there. It was, yeah, it was by where Roost was. I so don't want to get a bad ending. I'm so nervous. I don't want to go to bad ending. Oh, God. While the night was still dark, I staggered drunkenly into an empty alley without a moment of hesitation. I laid myself down on the filthy ground. Did I do it on purpose? Yeah, this is the alley. Memory served, this was right around where I passed out last time. That sounded lovely. Oh, that's gonna be so bad. With the chill of the concrete at my back, I gazed up at the inky sky, then closed my eye. My vision obscured, my other senses sharpened. Smell, I could smell something decaying. The reek of the sewer, the humid air. Hearing, I could hear the bustle of the city in the distance, the wail of ambulance sirens, and the clink of cans as someone dug through the garbage bin. I started to disassociate until I was just a series of stimuli floating there and attached to my physical form. Oddly enough, it was peaceful. Why did I do this? Oh, this is such a bad idea. Then, as my drunken brain struggled to function, I heard the sound of footsteps. I could feel the vibrations through the ground. Judging from the speed at which they were moving, someone was walking very carefully. Such a bad idea. I don't want to get a bad ending. The footsteps approached, then stopped short beside me. Caught a whiff of a familiar scent. Like absinthe, but slightly different. I couldn't open my eye. After all, I was passed out drunk. Frickin'... Oh, babe. Why are you doing this? I crouched down and opened the front of my coat. Then they quietly pushed my shirt up and I felt a faint sting of pain in my midsection. Did they cut me? Of course he did. That's what he does. Silence followed after that. I could feel them there, right next to me. After a long pause, they moved once more. This time, something touched my cheek. Fingers grasped my chin, trying to force my mouth open. Oh, gall. Since I was playing possum, I couldn't fight it. My mouth opened. A small amount of liquid trickled in. I almost swallowed it on reflex, but managed to stop myself, instead holding bitter liquid in my mouth. Oh, gall. They grabbed my arm, put it around their shoulders, and attempted to haul me up. While they were distracted with that, I turned my head and spat out the liquid. Oh, gall. This is such a bad idea. I put an arm around my waist and started walking slowly as if they were just escorting me home. And since I was pretending to be unconscious, I let them drag me along. Ray, come save me. Save me from myself and my bad decisions. Oh my gosh. Oh, such bad decisions. Suddenly, I was flung down onto a soft surface, probably the bed. On the way here, I had opened my eye faintly to confirm that I already knew. This was the same condo from last time. I could hear someone breathing heavily over me. Something cold touched my cheek. Surely he knew, right? The room smelled strongly of that almost absent scent. It had to be his natural odor. Yep. Woo! Actually, that's a good shot of him. That's nice. I quietly opened my eye.
Toa-san.
Hi! There in the dimly lit room, I locked eyes with Ikuina. I was lying on a bed and he had crawled up on top of me, pressing a knife to my cheek. Yep.
本当はずっと起きてたんでしょ
Of course I was, you silly doofus.
お前だって分かってて連れてきたんだろ。
I spoke matter-of-factly like I hadn't even noticed the knife.
やりたきゃやれよ。もう耐えられないんじゃないのか。
Trembling, Ikuina bit his lip and lowered the knife pressed to my cheek. Well, hello.
全部お見通しってことですか
Nope.
分かりやすいからな、お前。俺が書くのは人が心の奥に秘めてる願望だ。
His eyes simmered in trepidation. Quietly, I looked back at him. I gazed deeply into his eyes, trying to read every tiny shift in emotion. If I could get him locked onto me, I could take control. Right now, he was looking at me like he was entranced. But this was no superpower. It was just like a skill I picked up from my mother. The art of conversation and negotiation. Oh. I had next to no memory of my past, but I could vaguely remember her repeatedly teaching me how to talk to people. She described it as a way to get close to someone without misreading their intentions. According to her, the human heart was fragile. I was probably only good at it because I had inherited this talent from my mother. As far as I knew, she was adored by everyone around her, though she probably never imagined I would use those skills for something like this. Probably not.
ただの願望じゃない。絶対に叶えてはいけないような歪み切ってねじ曲がった願望だけを俺は書く。お前もあるんだろうな。花なんかじゃ満たされない何かが。
I really feel like we're a little demon now. Congratulations, Toa. You're on my level now.
吐き出せ。 そうしたら書いてある。
Ooh. Like a little devil making a contract. Ikuina slumped his shoulders weakly. The knife in his hand fell to the bed.
さあ、話せ。
You picked the wrong dude to be interested
俺
in.
は俺は
Hmm. Okay. Talk to him and calm him down. Ooh, here we go. All right. What up? Okay.
それで、
いえ
Okay, so I gotta keep an eye on the hourglass and his mind breaky stitching. Okay. Oh, so it doesn't tell me. Provoke him. He looks anxious. I don't think he would react well to provoking. So let's do positive.
ポジティブに。
Okay.
なるほど。
Described it as caring for people, so I doubt you're only doing it to hurt them. Well, he did heal them too, so.
はい
Okay. Say nothing. I feel you. From Mayu's annoyance. What's gotten into you? From Ray's sympathy. Say nothing. Okay. Really wish I could save. Can I save right now? Let's do a quick save. Okay. I don't trust myself not to screw this up. So, okay. All right.
ああ、
What got you like
呆れ
this?
るな。
Is there something what must have gotten you into this hobby? What was the trigger?
これは、
You was covered in plants because you're trying to distract yourself?
それは
Okay. Okay, so I healed up his mind, so that's good. Still looks anxious.
ポジティブ。
Okay.
そうか。
Oh, you've reached the point where you can't lie to yourself anymore. Okay. Screwed yourself. I don't know. Say nothing? Smoke seems pretty stable, both in color and movement.
そうだな。
You achieve your goal here?
それは
ポジティブに。
I have no idea what I'm doing.
確かに。
I'm just trying to be as positive to him as possible. And then I attract a certain type of person.
はい
Okay. Really panicking. Okay. Ah, no! Did I screw up?
求めているものは、
Wormwood, Frage, flower. Flower language, flower. Flower?
花。
Hana? Woo! Oh, ah! Did I?
花が好き。本当に花が好きなのか。
それは
I hope I did that right.
本当は
I'm so Okay. Okay, yay. I did okay. Okay, I did something, I think. Gotta expose the secret. Okay, I did something, I think. I don't know.
まだだ。まだ足りない。
待ってください。
That face. Nice. Wait, what did I do? Okay.
気になるか？
Are you interested in my scarf?
はい。
Yes. Tease him. Okay. Oh, that music's picking up. Look at that. Go piano, go. Okay.
ネガティブに。
Ah.
あ
I can tell right away you stare too damn much.
あ、
He's looking a little, crazy right now. It's gotten into you. I already said that.
あ、お前は。
Say it flat out.
ポジティブ。
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just
安
randomly
心し
going.
ろ。
あ
Okay. This is going a little, smoke is lighter and softer now. Oh. What? I have no idea what I'm doing. Say it plainly, make implications.
ポジティブに。あ
Yeah, okay. This is going a little, Oh, okay. I guess he likes that? Screwed. Like. Say nothing. Call. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just not
あ。
gonna say
言え
anything.
よ。
Answer? Seems like he's expecting something from me.
ポジティブ。
I have no idea what I'm doing, guys.
助けてやる。
This is like the weirdest foreplay ever.
あ
Okay. He's really into it. I feel like I'm gonna break him before I get to where I'm supposed to go. Jeez. Dude.
傷を。
No. Rage, Wormwood, Goddess of Whimsy. Scars. The wound. Symbol of his desire is scars. I'm so confused. Okay. Guys, I don't know
Jesus.
how this... Oh, that sound. Ugh, gross. Love the pink spray, though.
本当に興味があるのは傷だよな。
Hmm. Jeez, dude, he's
はい。
really into that. Oh,
ああ、全部わかった。
God.
切り裂きたい。それがお前の望みなんだな。
あ、そうです。
Oh.
その通りです。
Oh crap, did I do something wrong? Did I do wrong? Or was that right? His hourglass exploded. Was that okay? Did I do something wrong?
俺が本当に欲しいものは花なんかじゃない。
I kind of picked up on that.
花で代用していただけなんだ。
Why don't you be a mortician? You get to cut up dead bodies all the time.
俺は本当は人の肌につけられた傷が見たい。
Oof.
正確には傷の中身が。でもそんなことはできないから自分の腕を傷つけても見たけどやっぱり物足りなくて。
He squinted his eyes as if enduring invisible pain, then he smiled faintly. That was an experience, guys.
花は人みたいに抵抗しないのに 傷つければ体液を流してくれる。それがなんだか俺を受け入れてくれてるように感じて慰められた。花さえあればなんとかなる、そう思ってたのに、だんだん物足りなくなってきて、それに花を何度も潰してるうちになんだかかわいそうにもなってきて。
His hesitant glance or a gaze locked onto me.
不思議と人に対してはそう思わないんです。かわいそうって。でも人はすごく抵抗するからなかなかいいようにできなくて、ずっとどうすればいいのかを考えてて思いついたんです。切ってから手当てをする方法を。
Then why'd you bring me to your apartment, though? That's a little...
それなら怪我をさせてもまだ許されるんじゃないかと思って。
Okay.
それにこの町にはデスマッチがあるから、怪我人が道端に転がっていてもそれほど気にしないでしょう。
I mean, I guess that's true.
今度は周りの目が厳しくてとてもじゃないけどできません。だから俺はこの町に来たんです。
Came here... Okay. Okay.
治安が悪いって言ったらそれまでだけど、新興民は本土よりも俺と似たような人が多いんじゃないかって思ったから。
You found a little devil who's willing to make a contract with you, though. Which is us. He put in a pause there to let out a breath, his brow tightly knitted.
人を傷つけるのは最小限にとどめて、あとは花で代用して、そうやって自分を騙しながらやってきたけど、物足りなくて苦しくて、誰かを切れば切るほどどんどん欲求が膨れ上がって。
Yep, it's called you're evolving in your tastes, which is why it's very dangerous. That's why serial killers, they start small and then they end up killing people. That's how it goes.
そんな時に偶然トワさんが倒れているのを見つけて、
Like one
切り
guy,
つけてから手当てをしている時に見たんです。
like one serial killer, he started
体
out.
中に残る傷跡を。
Sorry, so one serial killer, he started out just breaking into people's homes. I think he would take things like coupons and change, like little coins. And then he kind of upped the ante, and then he got into like some really like murder and assault and stuff. It was pretty bad. I mean, they finally caught him, but the dude was like on death's door by the time they caught him. What was his name? The TPK killer or something like that. Had a weird acronym. But yeah, they caught him when he was in his 60s.
全身が震えるほどのショックを受けて、その時に自分の欲望をはっきりと自覚しました。
Dangerous slope.
ああ、俺本当は心ゆくまで誰かを切ってみたいんだって。
Why didn't you just become a doctor?
その中身が見たいって。
You should have just become a doctor, dude. Then you could cut people open and stitch them up all you wanted.
俺をこの部屋に連れ
Surgeon.
込んだ
I
の
mean,
そのせいか。
a surgeon. Was he gonna like... Grimacing, he nodded.
はい。ただあの時は切る目的じゃなくて、
Oh, he
トワさんの傷跡をもっと見たいと思ったんです。
so our scars saved us. He was interested in them. Okay.
トワさんの傷、特に胸の真ん中にある大きな傷が。
A heart surgery scar? Distracted by the memory, he swallowed. This is getting a little,
胸の傷が本当にすごくて、どうやったらこんな風になるんだろうって思って、トワさんを解放した後、興奮が収まらなくて眠れなくて、
should have
す
become
ぐ
a
にトワさん
surgeon,
が倒
man.
れていたあたりへ戻って聞き込みをしたんです。体中が傷だらけの人を知らないかって。あの時はトワさんの名前も知らなかったけど、ある人と知り合って、その人からトワさんのことを教えてもらってルーストにも行ったんです。
ある人。
それはすみません、言えません。
Okay. Guiltily, he averted his eyes. Ew.
匿名の花の配達もわざとか。
はい、トワさんに近づくために。でも どうして俺だって分かったんですか？
I had a hunch.
花言葉だ。気持ちを込めすぎたな。
ああ、正直気づいてほしいという気持ちもあったので。
He laughed bashfully. This music I'm vibing to.
お前
Holy
が
cow.
配達した花からアブさんの匂いがした。
アブさん？ヨモギか。
Mm-hmm.
この部屋の匂い。
Did he lay out the
そうだ。
roses for us?
そうです。ヨモギは昔ばあちゃんが家で育てていて、なんとなく好きなんです。匂いを嗅ぐと落ち着くんですよね。だから香り袋を作って部屋のあちこちに置いてるんです。もちろん育ててもいますし。
But everything's dead. Well, not in this room.
でも匂いってそんなに移るものなんですね。自分では全然気がつかなかったです。部活だったな。
You always end up smelling like your house. Yeah, for some reason he was smiling.
俺、トワさんなら俺の気持ちを分かってくれるんじゃないかってずっと思ってました。人の傷の中身が見たいっていう妄想だけが膨らんでいって、今はもう自分でもどうすればいいのか分からないんです。
昔からそうだったのか？
いえ、ただ子供の頃にすごくショックを受けたことがあって、
Oh?
多分それからだと思います。
ショック？
はっきりとは覚えてないんですけど、子供の頃誰かをナイフで傷つけたんです。何度も何度も。
I'm sorry, you did what as a child? I was afraid to touch that stuff as a child.
すごく怖くて逃げ出したくて、でも傷から真っ赤な血が溢れるところはよく覚えていて、
You should become a doctor.
それが影響してるんじゃないかとは思います。
Once he was finished, Ikuina took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He was clearly trying to get his emotions under control. His flushed cheeks and pursed lips betrayed this shame he felt. Meanwhile, I shot a quick glance around the room. The floor and table were both littered with flower petals, as was the bed, as if for decorative effect. Like I said, he's laying out the rose petals for us. No, I don't want to see it. No. Oh god, this is gonna be bad. At this, his eyes widened in surprise.
お前の願望は分かった。好きにして。
Toa, as your subconscious, I don't think I agree.
トワさん、
No, please no. He stared at me in disbelief. Oh, Toa. I rolled up one of my sleeves, revealing the scarred flesh of my arm, and offered it to him. Hands shaking, he slowly picked up his knife and pointed the tip at me.
本当にいいんですか？
This is strangely erotic. Okay. As my consciousness grew fuzzy from the pain and blood loss, I started to laugh. Every breath I took was wet with blood. As my fingers clutched at the sheets, they brushed something. The scattered petals. I grabbed a handful and sprinkled them over Gikuina's back. As they fluttered down, a few spilled between us and landed in the blood quickly stained with it. Almost like little chunks of meat torn off our bodies. Laughing, I grabbed even more pills and scattered them over his back and over and over. With the blood and the petals and cuts, we must have looked insane. And in fact, we were. I mean, yeah. I accepted that insanity and returned it with full force. My output was a work of art. I mixed other people's madness with my own, blended it, kneaded it, and painted it. In that sense, my art was always a group project made with other people's vomit and extra. Ugh, gross. I never knew that people's insides could be so beautiful. I always yearned to see it. Ugh. And you were the one to show it to me, Toa-san. means the world to me. Thank you so much.
Rei.
Hi, Ray.
終わった。迎えに来てくれ。場所は。
Oh, I, I can't. Oh, I don't want to know how Ray feels. After each euphoric episode, I scraped together the last dregs of my conscious mind. Then, with shaking fingers, I placed a call on my cell phone. Luckily, Ray picked up, and 30 minutes later, he and Taku came running into Ikuina's condo. Poor baby. Ray's probably freaking out. I went back home to the clinic, but Ikuina was taken to a different facility, the Taka no Koichi medical office. Apparently, Taku made the call after he saw that my injuries were a lot worse than he was expecting. After cutting each other to shreds, Ikuina and I had lost a lot of blood. Well, yeah, that's usually what happens. If I had waited any longer, he said I might have died. But from my perspective, this sort of thing happened all the time. Because you went there and did that. I would interrogate my art model to learn their darkest wishes, and then I would grant them. Most people who were drawn to apply to the Euphoria modeling gig generally had some sort of unspeakable darkness buried inside. Birds of a feather flock together, as they say. If I determined that I was able to grant their wish, and that they truly craved it from the bottom of their heart, I would respond to their email. That said, I rejected any desires pertaining directly to death. Not that I was afraid to die, but there was no coming back from it. Once I was dead, there was nothing left to look forward to. Well, at least he understood that. I could generally find out if someone's desire was a real deal by talking to them about it. It helped. I could observe their emotional reactions through their smoke. If it wasn't the real deal, I called the whole thing off on the spot. Thus far, I had never made the wrong call. By making use of my conversational skills and their smoke, I could get a near-perfect read on people. This made them easy marks to manipulate. No one who modeled for me ever spoke of their euphoric episode to a third party. I only chose the ones who I knew wouldn't turn around and regret it later. That was why I often went a few months in between pieces. Oh my gosh, you are like a little demon. Why was I so committed to drawing people's dark desires? Well, for one thing, it interested me. And for another, I lived for the exact moment when my model's dream came true and their every trace of rationality melted away like butter. You are a twisted person in this game. I'm greatly enjoying it. Chapter 1 done. Praise. Complete? Yes? And okay. Time for chapter 2, guys. Woo, that was quite an ending. I don't know how much I can... I need to edit that one. That was intense. Okay, what's next? A week after Ikuina's euphoric episode. Once I was barely able to move again, I started camping out in my room to paint. Before Ikuina's contribution faded away entirely, I puked it all out of my system, steadily drowning my white canvas in paint. Now I entered the painting stage, I became a single-minded robot. Either Taku or Ray tried to interact with me, they just watched from the doorway. Anytime they tried to speak to me while I was painting, I just ignored them, so they had learned not to bother. I didn't even turn on the TV like normal. If at any point my brush fell still, it was so I could stare blankly into space or pass out on the floor. By this point, they both just let me do my thing. Generally, the painting would take anywhere from a week to a month to reach completion. After Ikuina's euphoric episode, I called Ray to come get me. From there, he passed the message along to Taku and came running to meet me. After all the other euphoric episodes thus far, both Ray and Taku knew they would find me dangerously bad shape. Poor Ray, man. Once I finished the call with Ray, I passed out. When I next awoke, I was lying on my bed. Couldn't remember anything that happened after the phone call. I was told Ikuina was hospitalized at Taka no Koichi medical office. While I recuperated in my room, Ray waited on me hand and foot. Oh, Babe. Yes, we need a good supportive husband for Toa. This man does not take care of himself. He handled all the chores Taku normally took care of, like laundry and vacuuming. He told me I totally owed him for this, but he seemed happy to do it. At the end of the day, Ray liked to look after people. Perhaps he was naturally inclined to help those in need. He's such a... I love him. Oh my gosh. I hope I'm on Ray's route. I honestly have no idea if I am. Weeks later, I barely ate or drank the entire time, so I was emaciated and unsteady on my feet. Since it wasn't safe for me to be walking around in that state, Taku and Ray demanded that I contact them as soon as my art was finished. How do you stay alive? Still seated in front of the easel, I pulled my phone out of the pocket of my coveralls. My fingers stained black with paint, so I typed out a message to the Taku Ray group chat.
終わった
Ray, babe! Hi, babe! How are you? Come get your man. A short while later, Ray burst into the room. Come feed him, please. We don't want to pass out again. He rushed over to me looking deeply relieved.
体調は具合が悪いとかない？
酒。
Mule.
Huh?
Booze.
酒が欲しい。
I want booze. Oh my gosh. Instantly, the concern drained from his face and he scowled.
口を開けば酒って。その前に食事よ。適当に買ってくるから待ってて。
Aw. Okay, be back. Back soon. And with that, he rushed out of the room just as fast as he had arrived. It's like a walking tornado. I sighed and stared into space, my eye unfocused. I didn't even have the energy to get up from my seat. When I was painting, I scarcely felt the need to eat or use the restroom. At least I couldn't remember feeling it. Then after my piece was finished, it all came rushing back, and I would remember I was a human being with basic needs. After that, the fatigue would set in, and my body would turn to lead. And I'm going to pass out on the floor, aren't I? Ray, feed us. I sat there at the easel with my brain switched off. Ray came back in. Both arms were laden with heavy to-go bags from the corner store.
とりあえず買ってきたから食べて。
Okay. I cleared the junk off the coffee table, then used that space to line up each item side by side. Rice balls, sweet pastries, savory pastries, a salad, bottled tea, and some desserts. Surely he knew I wouldn't eat all this. More proof of how worried he was, I
好きな
suppose.
ものをどうぞ。
Oh. As he spoke, he took one of the desserts for
す
himself.
ごい量だな。
He's gonna eat with us, obviously, Toa. I rose from my seat and staggered
あ
over
ん
to
た
the
が
table.
何を食べるかわかんないからいろいろと買ってきたのよ。パンでも何でもいいからお腹に入れて。
I grabbed a pastry at random, then plopped down onto the sofa.
そうそう。タクから聞いたんだけど、生稲さん退院したって。
Okay. Ray sat in the chair opposite side of the table and slid his spoon into a cup of pudding with lots of
あ
whipped
と
cream.
もうすぐクリスマスよ。うちの店でパーティーやるから、トアも体調が良くなってたら来てね。
Okay, sweetheart. I will try to make sure Toa's there. Every year, Bruce put on a Christmas party. That said, the interior decor always ended up more reminiscent of Halloween, and the guests all wore unsettling costumes, staff included. In a way, it was fitting of Bruce to celebrate the holy night in the most unholy fashion imaginable. Still, I had no interest in parties. No, Toa! I went for the burritos. Okay, good. We're still gonna go.
ごちそうさまでしたっと。ねえ、完成した絵見ていい？
Having finished his pudding, Ray fixed me with a hopeful look. Please? Okay, good. We're not totally, you know. I want to see it too. He tossed his trash into the trash can and walked over to the easel. He approached it from behind and slowly walked around to the front, prolonging the moment before he laid eyes on my art. Oh! Well, that's pretty. I actually quite like that. He stared in shock, then shot me an impassioned
や
look.
だ。ちょっと今回も素敵。
It looks like flowers.
すっごくいい。
It looks like flowers. It's very
どう
pretty.
も。
I responded curtly and set my pastry back on the table. I just couldn't will myself to
ほ
eat
ん
it.
と。あんたの絵って最高よね。
Hey
本
now.
人と反比例して。写真を店のブログに載せてもいい？
あ
ありがとう。
Force the food down my throat, please. Pulled out his cell phone and snapped a few
それに
pics.
しても生稲さんがモデルになるとこんな絵になるのね。
I'm in
ドア
his
の
head and I
頭
don't
の
even
中
know.
ってどうなってるのかしら。
Like I said, we're floating around in his head and I don't even know what's going on. He grinned down at the photos he took. At this, I remembered I received a few emails from potential art models while I was convalescing. I procrastinated on checking them since I wanted to start working on Iku and his painting right away.
見るの忘れてた。
え？
ユーフォリアのモデルの何件か応募が来てたな。
Instantly raised brow furrowed.
今はダメよ。もうちょっと休んでからにして。あんたの絵は楽しみにしてるけど、短期間で瀕死状態を繰り返されたくないわ。それに
No.
クリスマスパーティーが近いって言ったばかりじゃない。年
He's like,
末
please
くら
come to the
い
party.
のんびりしなさいよ。
After he finished nagging me like a surrogate mother, he glanced up at the clock.
それじゃそろそろ下に戻るわ。そんなに忙しい時間帯じゃないから少しだけ抜けてきたのよ。ご飯ちゃんと食べてね。
You can't leave us to eat. You know this, Ray. Oh. Pointed at the coffee table, then left the room. It's all gonna just sit there. I grabbed the pack of cigarettes laying forgotten on the edge of the sofa and lit one up. Yeah, I knew we were gonna do that. Then I switched on the TV. On a ceaseless stream of sound filled the room. Sailing smoke, I turned my eye to the screen. Belatedly, I ruminated on the fact that Ikuina had been discharged from the hospital. Well, I'm never going to see him again, so... But I had no further opinion on the subject. After each euphoric episode, I would lose all interest in the person who modeled for me. Like a one-night stand, they were only ever a transient part of my life. I stared up at the ceiling and watched the cigarette smoke float away. Well, are we going into a new chapter or what? I hear fights. Fight, 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 fight. I like this style. Are we gonna do something with the fighting arena? Chapter 2? Okay. Brother. Whose brother? Ray's brother? We don't have a brother. I was craving booze, so I pulled on my coat and left the clinic. Are we going to Roost again? I had some bottles at my place, but I wanted a change of pace, so I headed to Roost. Heck yeah! Let's go see our future boyfriend. This was my first step outdoors in weeks, and my legs were sluggish. Yeah, they would be. The cold night air nipped at my face, and it felt good. During the day, the warm air hung low over the city, but the nights were always crisp. Yep, that's what humidity does to ya. As I approached the downtown area, foot traffic began to increase. The city was decked out in Christmas decorations and the classic songs played over the loudspeakers. Everyone who walked by was all smiles and laughter, the Christmas spirit at work, I guess. Then I spotted a kid clinging to a store display window, tugging on his mom's hand and begging for something. What is it? He pointed to a big teddy bear sitting on the windowsill. Let's buy it for Ray. The sight made me avert my eyes. For whatever reason, I didn't feel comfortable about it. Aside from the cold weather, I hated the month of December. I couldn't explain why, but it repulsed me. As I hastened my pace, I noticed someone curled up in a ball in a narrow side alley. I couldn't tell if they were alive, but given the season, it wouldn't surprise me if they were dead. Yeah, it gets cold. For most people, particularly those who lived on the mainland, Christmas was a time of love and hope and joy. But in Shinkomi, it was different. Each year, as the temperatures got steadily colder and colder, deaths among the homeless population began to skyrocket. Yeah, because you get so freaking cold. But Shinkomi didn't care about unidentified corpses. They had worse crimes to be dealing with. Fortunately, the city was originally built on a landfill, so there was no storage of places to dump a body. Oh, that's too bad. These days, a lot of them are dumped in District A, in the sea of debris caused by sinkholes. Oh. Dump people in sinkholes, I guess. This kind of thing was always on the news, but it was so normalized by this point that nobody cared anymore. Sure, everyone was probably scared at first, but after you live in it for a while, you eventually adapt. Yeah. In Shinkomi, you could step over a corpse and not even notice. Reminds me of those streamers who found a homeless man who had passed away. And she's like, oh, this guy looks like the guy that I saw earlier. And then they checked him and he had passed away. It's very sad. Arriving at Roost, I opened the door and walked in.
いらっしゃいってとは
Hi, babe. Hi. You're here. As soon as Ray realized it was me, his customer service smile shifted to concern.
大丈
I
夫
wanted to see you.
あ
Yeah, we're fine. That's why we're here. I headed to the counter
いら
and
っ
sat
しゃ
down.
い、トワ君。
Hi, Eggman. The manager called out to me from behind the
久
counter.
しぶりだね。
We'll never not
Nani
see
ni
Eggman. Like a nice, muscular Eggman.
ウイスキーロックで
Just give me whiskey with ice. The nod, he fetched his glass and a bottle of whiskey. While I waited for my drink, I lit a cigarette. Exhaling lightly, I shot a glance around the bar. Among the regulars in attendance, I spotted a single unfamiliar face sitting in the very end of the counter. Oh. But before I could get a better look, Ray walked over. There weren't many customers today, so he was probably bored.
もう出歩いても平気なの
Oh, thank you for our concern, sweetheart.
あ
Just, you know, Toa's not exactly emoting. Then my glass of whiskey
本
arrived.
当にっていうかちゃんとご飯食べた
No.
あ
I didn't. I'm
本
lying.
当何食べた
I'm lying, Ray. It was obvious he didn't believe me for a second. The look on his face said he expected to catch me in a lie. Well, I expected to be caught in a lie. Oh, we actually ate something? Good for us. Good job, Toa. We're growing up. I pinched a cigarette between my fingers and took a sip of whiskey. Did he not buy a curry bun? Are we lying? He stared at me suspiciously. He's so cute. To escape his gaze, I turned and faced forward. What do you see, Eggman? There was a laugh behind the counter and I looked over.
いや、ごめんごめん。レイ君があまりにもトワ君を疑うから面白
Your
くて。
pecs are showing through your shirt, man. It's pretty awesome. Ripped Eggman. With a face tat for a head
だ
tat.
って店長も知ってるでしょ
Oh.
とあったら絵を描いてる時は本当に飲まず食わずになっちゃうんだもの
Yeah.
でもトワ君、うちのナッツ好きでしょ
What? Sure, I guess. The manager looked at me with an impish grin, so I played along. As far as the snacks went, I liked nuts a fair amount. I grabbed the tin of nuts off the shelf, poured some into a little plate, and set it in front of me.
はい。今回の絵もとっても良かったよ。
写真もうブログに載ってるわよ見た
いや
よかったらまた現物を持ってきてほしいな。店に飾りたいから。
あ
私が持ってくるわね
What? I didn't care about my paintings after I finished them, so I shrugged and ate
絵
my
を
nuts.
描き上げた記念にその一杯は私がおごるわ
Ray pointed to my glass and grinned mischievously. You know, you should just give me free drinks forever because I'm
Okay.
giving you all these paintings for free. Oh? I smirked back and he
一
scowled.
杯で十分でしょこの酔っ払い
Aw.
冗談だよ
I grabbed my glass, toasted Ray.
あれだ
Sip.
トウは来てたの
Who are you?
最近見なかったわね
Who?
そういえば
久しぶり。
I turn to find Ray's friend sitting at a table nearby waving at me. What up? Ooh. Their names were Junko, Honami, and Arata. Junko worked primarily as a nurse at the clinic and occasionally took shifts here at Roost. The other two worked mainly at Roost while helping the clinic on the side, like Ray. Oh, I love the hair in the center. Actually, I like everyone's hair. They're also Ray's deathmatch buddies. Oh. No wonder they're ripped. But today they were here as paying customers.
また絵を描いてたんでしょ？ブログ見たわよ。
私も見たわ。今回もとっても素敵だったわね。
I nodded vaguely as they gushed amongst themselves and took a drag of a cigarette.
絵が素敵なのはいいんだけど、どうすればトアがもっとご飯を食べるようになると思う？本当に最低限しか食べないのよ。
Ray muttered with a
そりゃ
sigh.
だって見るからに食べないって感じするじゃない？っていうか今何か食べてなかった？ナッツ？
That lipstick goes great with your skin tone. Well, as it should. This is a game.
ナッツ？やだ。
Your
トアっ
design's
て意外
great.
と
I
意識
love the
高い
hair.
系。モデルがよく食べてるのよ
Honami, you got
ね。
Hanami's hair is amazing. That green into the... It would look awful on a real person, but like... Looks great on them. Very poison ivy-esque.
トアとモデルが一緒とか絶対ないでしょ。
I'm an attractive dude.
ないないやだ。
I like you, Juko. You're funny. Arata is super cute, though. Love that hair. I ignored their blissfully ignorant conversation and sipped
そう
my
だね、
whiskey.
いい。今度腕に光る角をつけたいんだけど、できる？
What? I just feel like that would get in the way.
いいわよ。
さすがボディアーティスト。いつもありがとね。
どういたしまして。希望の色とか形とか他にも何かあったらまとめておいてね。あとは都合のいい日を教えて。
Trying to put a shirt on and get stuck on your horns and your arms?
オッケー。
光る角ってちょっと面白そうね。私もこの間両手の小指の爪をマグネットネイルにしたんだけど、光り物も興味あるわ。
Why would you put magnets in your nails? Let random shit would stick to it. It would drive me insane. See, I couldn't do any body modification. I'd be like, it's just so annoying.
マ
What
グ
if this
ネットネイル
happens?
って爪を磁石にして何かいいことあるの？
You and me both, Honami. I have no
砂
idea.
に指突っ込むと砂鉄が集まるわよ。
What?
何よそれ意味あるの？
Honami, we're on the same wavelength. I don't
レイ
get it.
私スカリフィケーションをやってみたいんだけどお願いできるかな？
Scarification?
いいわよ。どこに入れたいの？
Oh, I know what those are. Okay. All right.
鎖骨の下とか。
It's like, how to explain scarification. Let me just... Scarification, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so if anyone's seen the Pirates of the Caribbean, one of the main pirates, villain pirates, he has these, like, these bumps on his face. It's kind of like tattooing. So here's the actual, an invasive way to permanently mark the body through cutting or even branding the skin and manipulating the healing process. So yeah, you're purposely causing scars in like tattoo type ways. I think it's, I think it was an African thing. I don't remember where exactly it came from. I think it was I think it was an African thing originally. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you can see in sorry, I get distracted with things. I apologize. But yeah, it's I just wanted to make sure if I could describe it. But yeah, a guy in Pirates of the Caribbean has it. You could see it. It's actually very interesting. Sorry, chapstick again. So under your collarbone. Okay. What are you gonna get? What design?
じゃあ ネックレスみたいに綺麗な模様にするのはどうかしら。何か希望があったら教えてね。
Okay, so like a necklace. Okay, I could see that. I could see
新
that.
たがスカリフィケーションをしたがるなんてちょっと意外ね。
そう
Yeah. Arata looks very like sleek and stuff.
そうね。ボディアートには興味ないのかと思ってたわ。
I mean, they do have that tattoo.
ただの
but
タトゥーじゃつまらないから、どうせなら思いっきりやってみようかなって。
I don't think you can get rid of scarf.
いいじゃない。そういうの、私は好きよ。
ね
See, I
え、
couldn't.
トワはやらないの？ボディアート。
Don't touch him. He's beautiful. I already have enough scarification on me. I'm pretty good. Topic of conversation shifted to me, and I looked over my
興
shoulder
味
at
な
them.
い。
Do you not? He's beautiful. Leave him alone.
トワの体はもう十分アートみたいなものじゃない。
That's what I was gonna say. It's exactly what I said, Ray. He has enough
確かに
scarification
そう
going
よ
on.
ね。傷跡だらけの体って一種の芸術だと思うわ、私。
Yeah, he has enough scars.
トワ
I don't
っ
know.
ていつからそんな体なの？
覚えてない。
そもそもトワっていくつだっけ？
You guys don't
多
know.
分26。
あら、一番下の妹と同い年だ。
あんた
あ
何人兄弟なのよ。
3人よ。私が一番上。
I love your hair.
とあって兄弟いるの？
I love everyone's hair. Everyone just looks good. Ray sucked in a breath. Yeah. I turned back to the counter and exhaled a cloud of cigarette
妹がい
smoke.
る。
I don't know what happened to her,
そうなん
obviously.
だ。妹さんはどうしてるの？
俺がガキの頃に病死した。
The instant I answered, the cheer evaporated from the table and they all fell silent. Yeah, I mean, they didn't
無
know.
神経なこと聞いちゃって。ごめんね。
Well, you didn't know. It can't. If you don't know, you don't know. You
別
know?
に気にしてない。
But the awkward tension
ほ
remained.
らほら、本人も気にしないって言ってるし。ね。
Ray exclaimed in a tone of forced cheer, looking around the table at everyone. Yeah, I told Ray about my sister at some point in the past. The memories of my family were really fuzzy, so all I remembered was that was sad when she died. That's too bad. These days, she almost felt like a stranger.
みんな暗くならないで飲んで飲んで。もう年末なんだし、悲しい気分は飲んで忘れなきゃ。
そうね。飲みましょう。もうすぐクリスマスパーティーもあるし、浮かれながら新年まで突っ走るのよ。
新たもね。
I think Honami and Arata are my best favorite design from the trio. Because Arata's just this cute, clean look, and I just like... Arata seemed to feel guilty for making everything awkward. They smiled stiffly and nodded. From there, Ray casually changed the subject to something else, that the table regained its energy. As I sipped my drink, I glanced over at the other end of the counter. But the unfamiliar visitor I spotted earlier had already left. And I made eye contact with the manager behind the counter. He shot a pointed glance over at Ray's table, then grinned and shrugged. Yeah, I don't know. I nodded in response and then downed the rest of my drink. Wonder who the guy was. Or the person was. More bodies on the streets. My times from A to Z. Darkside Christmas increase the debtors who die fleeing Shikomi. Shikomi. Yeah. We're feeling the holiday spirit. Yeah. After I had a little too much to drink at Roost, I head back to the clinic. Ray should walk us home. Bar was usually open until 5. Jeez, till 5 a.m. Holy crap, bars around here close at 2. There weren't many customers, they opted to close early. I wish. As I walked through the front door, I found Taku sitting in the waiting room and drinking a can of coffee.
おかえり。ど
Hi,
平気。
Taku.
そうか。
I'm fine.
一応怪我の具合だけ見せてくれ。
Yeah, don't want an infection, that would be awful. He was referring to the injuries I sustained during Ikuina's euphoric episode, which weren't fully healed. Yeah, that's gonna take some time. That was a thing. Two of us entered the exam room where I pulled off my shirt and hopped onto the exam table. Taku stooped down, scrutinized each laceration, and began
順
treatment.
調だな。痛みは
痛いっていうより痛がゆい。
Ugh.
治ってきてる証拠だな。もしまた痛みが出るようなら言えよ。
ああ。
He moved away from the exam table. I sat up and started to get dressed. Oh! But just then I heard the front door fly open with a
なん
bang.
だ
I don't know. Taku promptly walked out into the hall. Likewise, I hopped off the exam table and followed after him. Oh, hi Ray. Who's that? Back in the waiting room, we found Ray with a man's arm slung over his shoulder. Did you find
その
him?
人はどうしたんだ。
帰る途中で拾っちゃった。
He smiled
大怪
stiffly.
我してるみたいだったからどうしても無視できなくて。
Man's clothes were ragged, and he was
とりあえ
bleeding
ず
all over.
診察室へ連れて行け。
Who be you,
わか
random
ったわ
man?。
とは手伝ってくれるって。
As soon as Ray laid eyes on me, he scowled
あん
dubiously.
たなんで上向いてるの？
Because Taku and I were getting down and
怪
dirty.
我の
What do you
診
think?
察。
Oh. As I spoke, I walked over to him. Human bodies, guys in particular, could be pretty heavy when their owner wasn't pulling any of the weight. It took a lot of strength to carry a grown man. Yeah, dudes are heavy. I grabbed the guy's other arm and put it around my shoulders. Got a little distracted. Sorry. Then, matching my pace with Ray's, I helped him get the guy into the exam room. Oh, we even have one on our pelvic area. Scar, I mean. I just... Sorry. Unfortunately, the man was conscious. After examining him, we took him to the medical ward where Taku performed first aid. The guy had no birth certificate, no insurance, but this wasn't uncommon here in Shikomi. Thus, most of the hospitals were willing to accept uninsured patients, and our clinic was no exception. The man named Mizuno told us he was jumped by a group of guys who beat him senseless. Ray had found him collapsed on the sidewalk while walking home from Roost. Since Ray looked like he had everything under control, I leaned back against the wall and watched from a distance. Mizuno's smoke was pale forest green, nothing special in terms of color. Normally, I'd never even give him past
処置は
glance.
これで終わりですが、もし具合が悪いようなら休んでいってもいいですよ。
いえ、家に帰ります。
わかりました。一応薬を出しておきますね。
はい。
He nodded meekly.
発見した時は死んでるのかと思ってびっくりしたけど、なんとかなってよかったわ。あの時は正直死を覚悟してました。ありがとうございました。レイって呼んでちょうだい。
Stop hitting on
はい、レイさん。
Don't be interested. We're on his route. He bowed politely, then looked over at me. His eyes widened in response to my innumerable scars, or simply because I was underdressed. I wasn't sure.
そいつはトアね。この病院の極潰しよ。
働いてるけど。
Dude.
遅刻と欠勤の常習犯じゃない。てか服着なさいよ。水野さんが引いてるでしょ。
Yeah, why don't we have a shirt on still? Just been standing there.
ああ、いえ、そんなことは。
おいおい、患者さんの前で喧嘩はやめてくれよ。
At this, Mizuno started to shake his head. But winced.
俺のことは気にせず。しばらくはちょっとした振動でも怪我に響いちゃうから気をつけてね。
Yeah.
はい。お笑い番組はしばらく見ない方が良さそうですね。
Oh, Mizuno, you're cute. His lips twisted halfway into a smile, the farthest he could get with his
帰りは一人
injuries.
で大丈夫？はい。骨も折れてなかったし、なんとか帰れると思います。
quick save. Sorry. Every time it flickers, it makes me nervous. As he slowly lowered himself off the exam table, Ray pushed in to help.
それじゃ本当にありがとうございました。お会計は
Your poor sweater.
こっちよ。
He held the door open and Mizuno tottered after him.
気をつけてな。
ありがとうございました。
Mizuno briefly inclined his head in Taku's direction, glancing at me, then left the room. Taku folded his arms and sighed quietly.
集団リンチみたいなのが流行ってるらしいな。
そんなの前からいくらでもあっただろ。
Yeah, how is this new? It's not new.
いや、噂じゃ同じグループが繰り返し犯行を重ねてるらしい。集団で一人を襲って寄ってたかって暴行するんだそうだ。
Sounds pretty standard to me.
あいつもその被害者ってことか。
確定はできんが可能性はゼロじゃない。まあ確かにこの町で暴力沙汰なんて珍しくもなんともないからな。実際のところはわからん。
He gave me a defeated shrug. Just then, Ray returned from handling Mizuno's bill.
水野さん、一人で大丈夫かしら。
大丈夫だろ
う。だといいんだけど。
He cupped his cheek in his hand and sighed. You're so cute, Ray.
何か気になるのか？
ん？水野さんってすごくいい人そうじゃない？だから新興民にいたらいろいろと危険が多そうだなって。
いくら治安が悪いと言われていても観光客は相変わらず来るし、若者だって増えてはいるからな。
そうね。
He nodded, though he didn't seem fully convinced. Then he remembered something.
ところでタク、ちょっと気になったんだけど。診察室の机の上、あまりにも汚すぎない？書類は適当に置いてあるし、ペンとかハサミとか散らばってるし。
あ
あ。Taku rubbed the back of his neck with a word.
患者さんが見たら、何この先生って思われるわよ。
確かにそうだな。後で片付けておけよ。
不思議よね。タクってトアの部屋は定期的に片付けるくせに、どうして自分の机はほったらかしにするのかしら。
Because maybe he likes us. Ray, maybe someone likes us.
よくあるだろ。人のことは気になるけど、自分には無頓着ってやつ。あれだ。
So it seems to attract that type of person.
自分で言わないでよね。
I mean, we are a mess, so I guess. Ray scoffed at Taku for a moment, but was interrupted by a sudden yawn. Hastily, he covered his mouth with one hand.
嫌だ。もう3時じゃない。そろそろ帰りましょう。
Please stay, crash at our place.
お前も部屋に戻れよ。
ああ。
Alright, bye. I grabbed my shirt and coat off the floor and left the room. Why didn't I do that earlier? The next day. I woke right as the clinic's lunch break was coming to an end, then carried out my morning routine to the sound of TV chatter. I was scheduled to work that afternoon, so I actually woke up precisely on time for a change. That's shocking. As I washed my face in the bathroom, I overheard the robotic voice of the newscaster. Jeez. As my ears picked up on the bits and pieces, Mizuno came to mind. According to Taku, there was some lynch mob going around committing crimes for the fun of it. But Shinkomi saw dozens of similar cases on a daily basis. For all we knew, the culprits behind the news story could be entirely unrelated. Yeah, I mean... I walked from the bathroom to the fridge, pulled out a bottle of booze, and sat down booze and had my breakfast for the day. That's not breakfast! Cold alcohol cleared the fog from my sleepy brain. After that, I got dressed and headed downstairs. Lunch break wasn't quite over yet, but Arimura was already seated behind the reception counter. Technically, he wasn't scheduled to work today. Clearly, he had expected me to miss my shift. Absolutely no faith in me whatsoever. Well, I mean... Begrudgingly, he switched places with me. I think he's more there because he wants to see Ray because he has a crush on him. Which I don't blame him, I do too. Well, he's my favorite so far. As I was settling in to endure the coming hours of mind-numbing boredom. Hi, sweetheart, what's up? I heard loud footsteps from down the hall. Moments later, Ray came running into the waiting room. Leaned over the counter and spoke under his breath.
運ばれてきたの。裏口の方に来てるから。
No, not Arata. Panicked, he raced back down the hall. No, I'd already taken care of all the patients in the waiting room, so I left the reception counter and headed to the medical ward. No, not her, babe. Inside, I found Arata laying on the bed while Taku performed first aid and Ray assisted him. Meanwhile, Igarashi was standing a short distance away watching.
Oh, Toa-san.
Hi. Who are you? Hi, Igarashi, I guess. He smiled awkwardly and inclined his head.
俺が新さん見つけたんです。用事があって近道しようと路地に入ったら、新さんが倒れてて。
Oh, it's a belt. Okay.
新さんがレイさんの友達ってことは知ってたんで、すぐに電話して、それでって感じです。
Oh, poor Arata. He shot a worried look at Arata, who lay there with her eyes closed, possibly unconscious. With those bruises and cuts on their androgynous face, I could scarcely recognize them.
応急の処置はしたが、内臓に損傷があるかもしれない。念のためにうちじゃなくてもっと大きい病院で見てもらった方がいいかもしれんな。
Aw, I like Arata. Once his work was done, Taku fixed Ray with a hard look.
鷹の口院へ連絡してみるわ。
頼む。
Aw. Pursing his lips, Ray nodded and rushed out of the room.
昨日に
Oh, I
引
feel
き
bad for
続
her,
き
babe.
今日もか。参ったな。
I'm surprised they were able to take Arata down since they go to the death match with Ray all the time. Taku sighed loudly and they were some of the top fighters. Sighed loudly and rubbed the back of his hand.
昨日も何かあったんすか？
Who are you? Like, I know you have a name, but I don't know who you are.
集団で暴行されたっていう怪我人が運ばれてきたんだ。
I guess getting jumped by a group would be pretty bad.
マジっすか。それって。
Just then, the door flew open, interrupting him. Is it everyone else? First, I figured it was Ray, so naturally I was startled to see who it actually was.
迎えに来たぞ、五十嵐。
Kotaro! Hi!
トワだ、
Oh.
イェーイ
Hi, Mayu.
お邪魔します。
Kotaro, Mayu, and Eiji walked in. Why are you guys
な
here?
んだなんだ。でかいのが揃いも揃って。
Taku squinted sternly at the surprise
でかいのは
visitors.
この
Yeah.
二人だけですけどね。村瀬先生、すみません。五十嵐くんとなかなか連絡が取れなくて、ようやく繋がったと思ったらここにいるって聞いて。
Oh, so he's part of the... Okay, he's part of
そ
the
した
gang.
ら小太郎さんが迎えに行くって言い出しちゃって。
Of course he did.
俺が行くって言ったら行くんだよ。なんか文句あるか？
No.
んで、五十嵐、道に人が落ちてたから拾っちゃった？
そうなんすよ。すっごい怪我してたから、こりゃほっといたらまずいなって思って。
Oh, you're a sweetheart. too.
徳でも積んでんのかてめえは。ほっときゃいいだろうが。
Kotaro strode to the bed and leered down at Arata.
ああ、ずいぶんひどくやられたな。これ、あれだろ？今流行ってる暴行大好きグループだろ？
Just want to yank on that
流行
chain.
ってる？
Taku squinted dubiously. That was when Ray walked in. He saw us all gathered there and...
さっき受付で電話してた時にあんたたちが入ってくるの見たけど、部屋が狭く感じるわね。
Yeah, there's like, how many of us? 7 in this room now?
この部屋が実はすっごく小さいって可能性は？
Mayu, please stop.
ないわよ。
Well, I can see one person that Ray doesn't like.
暴行グループの話、詳しく聞かせてくれ。
おう。
Kotaro nodded and looked at Eiji.
僕ですか？まあいいですけど、最近集団リンチを暴行パーティーと称して人を襲って回ってるグループがいるんです。
Oh, like a blanket party.
喧嘩ならデスマッチエリアでやればいいのにって感じなんですけど、どうも一般人を狙うみたいで、まさしく弱い者いじめってやつですよ。ネットじゃストレス溜まりまくりのハプレスチルドレンがやってるって結構話題になってます。
暴行パーティーってのはそのグループが発表でもしたのか？
ああ、それはですね、マニア向けの SNS がありまして、ルーストに似てるっていうか、いわゆる異常性欲者とか人の肉が食べたいとか、そういう人たちが集まってるんですけど。
Oh. Okay.
ルーストのコンセプトは大敗的な B よ。そこまでダイレクトじゃないわよ。
You tell them, Ray.
なるほど、一緒にしちゃってすみません。まあその SNS で少し前からずっと集団リンチを匂わせるような書き込みをしてるやつがいるんです。そいつが暴行パーティーって言葉を使ってて、犯人の一人なんじゃないかって言われてます。たまに暴行の開催予告みたいなものも書き込まれるんです。今のところは全部嘘でしたけど、一応警察も動いてはいます。でもここ新興味ですし、これが本土の方だったらもっと騒ぎになってると思います。まあ警察は置いておくとしても、 SNS の管理者が独自のサーバーを立てて運営してるみたいなんで、特定も規制も難しいみたいです。
そいつらが新をやったってこと？
可能性としては高いでしょうね。
Oh. Hapless children. Yep.
その SNS 教えて。
Ray leaned forward and stared at Eiji.
わかりました。後で送ります。
ありがとう。
Well, Ray's in the mood.
もうお前はここにいなくたっていいんだろ？ならとっとと行くぞ。
はい。
Bye,
お前
Igarashi.
榊さんに締められるからな。覚悟し
Did
と
we
け
meet him
よ。
before? I just not remember meeting Igarashi even though we met him before. Guess I was too distracted by Kotaro's abs or something. Igarashi slumped his shoulders, but Kotaro gave him a pat on the back.
それじゃあね。おいじゃ。
Hey, John. Hey, John. Bye.
お邪魔しました。
Bye bye. Bye, guys. Actually, quite like them too. And so the three stooges left with Igarashi in tow. Poor Igarashi. Did I meet him? I don't remember him. Did we meet him before? Then Taku folded his arms and sighed.
暴行パーティーか。やっぱり昨日の水野さんも同じグループにやられたのかもな。
Yeah, probably.
そうね。まだわからないけど。
まったく近頃の若者の考えてることは俺にはさっぱりだよ。
Mm. He shook his head
でも
sadly.
さっきのエイジの話、犯人を割り出すきっかけにはなりそうね。
Yeah.
まさか仕返しするつもりじゃないだろうな。
Let's do it, Ray. Let's go.
しないわよ。これ以上の被害が出ないように、周りにも注意喚起しておきたいだけ。新がこんなことになっちゃったんだもの。いつどこで誰がまた襲われるかわからないわ。
Yeah, I mean, you guys are some of the top contenders in the death match, and they still got beaten up. Poor Arata.
まあそりゃそうなんだわな。そういや鷹の口の方はどうだった？
Huh?
受け入れ可能だそうよ。救急車で搬送してもらいましょう。
All right, the hospital. Ray quietly approached Arata as they slept.
思わぬ来客もあったから長引いたな。診察を再開しよう。とは受付に戻ってくれ。
わかった。
With a nod, I left the medical ward. Poor Arata. I like them. There's my second favorite. Hi! About an hour into the afternoon shift, Honami showed up. They told me they had to cancel their plans, so they wanted to work a shift instead. Taku's blessing, they... Sorry. I let them take over for me at the reception counter. Love that hair. This flexibility was a godsend for someone like me. Yeah, you know. Free living space and don't have to really pay for anything. It'd be great. I went back to my apartment and switched on the TV. Then I flopped down on my back on the sofa and looked at my phone. Hey, AG. Let's see. I brought several for the parts. Another bomb. No, something different this time. I'll show you once it's finished. Here's the website we talked about. Chaos Zone. AJ had emailed me a link to the social media site he mentioned earlier. Ray was the one who asked for it, but I guess he figured he'd send it to me too. Oh, so we have actual social skills. We talk to people. I lit a cigarette, took a drag, then tapped the link. Interesting. The website was titled Chaos Zone. Once you created an account, you were permitted to access the main site. On the front page, I could see a list of trending threads about different topics. I tapped the thread at the top of the page, which was formatted like a message board with comments and images posted one after another. Most of the thread was centered on edgy shit. Some people had even uploaded self-harm photos and videos. As I was scrolling, I randomly spotted a video someone had filmed of a group fight. Hey, yeah. Up here, curiosity, I hit the play button. There's so many fight videos out there. Partway through, I paused the video. Unless I was seeing things, the victim's face looked a lot like Mizuno's. Jeez. Those comments. Squinting against the cigarette smoke streaming into my eye, I rewound the video and hit play. It really looked like Mizuno, but the video quality was too poor to be absolutely sure. Yeah, those things are always like recorded on potatoes. Like, jeez. A group of dudes in black were gathered in a circle around Mizuno. The Mizuno lookalike kicking him around like a soccer ball. At first, someone was holding the camera, but then they set it down and joined in the fray themselves. By the end of the video, the group was punching each other. All I could hear was static kicking and someone breathing all mixed together. Then the video ended, so I replayed it. And I replayed it again and again. Looks like someone wanted to be the one being attacked. I tossed my phone down, sat up, and crushed my cigarette into the ashtray. I left it lying on the floor. And I start drawing because there's something interesting in me. Then I grabbed my sketch pad and pencil off the coffee table and flipped to a blank page. The video I watched was replaying itself endlessly in my mind. To get it out of my system, I sketched countless dark lines over the white paper. Bit by bit, tip of my pencil crafted the shape of an abused man, then I added a close-up of his face twisted in pain. It was just an assault video. I wouldn't have cared. I had no interest in one-side beatdowns against an unwilling opponent. That said, the video I saw was slightly different. Yeah, it looked like he was... Once I filled the page a decent amount, my hand fell still. I looked over my drawing and tried to figure out what was unusual about the video I saw. Just then my phone buzzed. I think... Because in one of the comments, the guy was like, I wish that was me. I think they want to get jumped. It's kind of weird. Okay. I set my pad and pencil to the side and grabbed my phone. It was a message from Ray. Reminds me, I put a little cheesecake in the fridge. Oh, he's so like a boyfriend already. Come on, Toa. Like you should eat instead. No thanks, I'm already full. I heard it pairs well with alcohol, so I figured you like it. Eat before it goes bad, okay? Oichi, wanna come? He must have climbed in to the ambulance with Arata. Knowing him, he wouldn't message me unless he wanted to talk to me about something. Okay. We're in room 306. Go to our future boyfriend. Or your future, whatever. Rose my feet, got ready, and left the apartment. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. I know. I hope you lovely lovelies, little lovelies, are enjoying this series as well. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.